Hello, and welcome back to the Film Posers YouTube channel. Today, we are going to be reviewing I Care a Lot, which will have its premiere on Netflix February 19th. Gabriela is going to be leading us in this conversation, so take it away.
Hello, everyone. I Care a Lot is a film written and directed by Jay Blakeson, and it stars Rosamund Pike, Asa Gonzalez, Peter Dinklage, Diane West, and Josie's boy, Chris Messina.
Don't call me out.
I mean, I know him because of you, so I must give you props.
Yes.
Yes.
I wish Anna could insert the clip of him dancing in the Mindy Project. But if you watch the Mindy Project, you know what I'm talking about. American Woman.
Yes.
But yeah, he's in this film. And just to get a head start, the cast is really great in this film.
It is truly a fantastic cast. Obviously, I kept making Game of Thrones references because Peter Dinklage was in it, so obviously my brand. But truly, it was an incredible cast. Everyone was amazing. There was not a single bad performance in this film. Everyone had their time to shine, which I think it had a good balance because obviously you see Rosamund Pike and you immediately think, oh, come on, like no one is going to be able to outperform her or be as good as her. But everyone is really good, so it's a good balance between the performances.
Yeah, I especially love the dynamic, of course, between Rosamund Pike and Asa Gonzalez as Marla and Fran. Because again, they're not roommates, they're a couple. Let's make that distinction.
I remember when I started this film, I told Josie, I swear, if they're friends or roommates, I'm done. And then they kissed, and I was like, yes,
Yes,
I'm so happy.
It is confirmed. I think one of the reviews on Letterboxd was like, the gays are winning, and it's like, yes. So I Care a Lot is also an LGBTQ film. Yeah. So there you go. It was honestly a very good film in that sense because it applies to the Good for Her universe, which we love in this channel and on the podcast. And just the dynamics from the film were very interesting because it is kind of like a dark comedy thriller. At least it's been described that way. And I would say that it does match that description because it deals with some heavy topics, but they're dealt not lightly, but it does feel almost along those lengths because it never feels too heavy, but it also, again, it's a thriller. It does deal with death, but you're able to go through it without really feeling drained while watching the film because again you see how the elderly are treated in old folks home, how their rights are taken away by the state just because, and how this woman is able to benefit from it. And these people, like this happens at the very beginning, your entire life can be given to someone else and you don't have to be present in court because a doctor can simply say you're not able to take care of yourself, and immediately your rights and your belongings go to someone you probably have never met. And the film is able to go through the storyline without leaving you in the hard moments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure, because obviously what Marla and Fran are doing, it's horrible. It's heartbreaking how they're able to just take away, people's houses and sell their entire lives' belongings just for profit and just leave them in a retirement home. It's horrible. And what I like was that despite them, being horrible, you also kind of root for them.
Yeah. I think it also has to do with the tone and the atmosphere because it seems very lighthearted and it feels like we're almost not watching the same film as what it's about because you have a lot of bright colors, you have a lot of witty banter and not that much animosity. And yet, again, it's a heavy subject. It's heartbreaking what's happening, but the visuals trick you into believing that you're watching something a little bit lighthearted. And again, it is very heartbreaking heartbreaking and upsetting how these people can live with their lives after doing what they do, because there's also like montages of selling these houses and these belongings and having auctions of stuff that don't belong to them, but technically they do now because the state said so.
Yeah. It those yeah, I kept watching, like I can't. I'm way too empathetic to ever do something like that. And I just kept thinking, how do you sleep at night, Rosamund Pike? What are you It was really hard to for
Mm-hmm.
me, because I'm just a very empathetic person. So for me, some of those scenes, I've seen like these elderly people, being so sad that they're being taken away from their homes that they've owned for so many years. Like, that was, to me, it was very heartbreaking. It has its
Mm-hmm.
moments where you laugh. And, like Josie said, it's heavy, but you don't feel like you're carrying this dark cloud over you. Like, it's not so heavy
Mm-hmm.
that it's unwatchable, because obviously some films that are deal with a heavy subject matter, you need to pause them and, take a break and breathe. That's not the case with this film. It's very digestible the way that they made it, so that you feel bad, but you can keep watching.
Yeah, and what I like about this film is that despite it being morally gray,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely does allow you to feel that empathy, because if you are feeling empathy, then it's what's supposed to be happening, because the film does focus at times on the reality of what people in these old folks homes do live, the way they live and the way that they are treated, and the fact that their routines aren't their own, and how a lot of like they can be pumped medication just cause. And again, there's a zero lack of autonomy. Their lives are taken away from them, yet the film also allows you to root for Marla the way that you mentioned, and Fran,
Mm-hmm.
because they deal a lot with how. So again, Marla's whole thing is that she wants to be a lioness. She wants to be, because she's technically a shark, and it's very interesting how she calls Chris Messina's character a shark, because I think it's mostly because she sees herself in the actions that he's doing, even though she's clearly better than everyone that she's facing throughout the film. And most of the times when people refer to her, it's with derogatory terms. So it's easy to identify or root for her, because even though she's doing all these horrible things, at the beginning, you don't really know to the extent of what her work goes. So you just see how she's treated by these men. So instantly, like, there's a big play on how to interact with her character, which again goes back to how it's very morally gray.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Jay Blakeson draws the line of being very straightforward when it comes to how unfair these people are treated in these homes.
Yeah, for sure. And I was watching an interview with Asa Gonzalez, actually, and she was talking about how this film was. They also wanted to bring awareness to how sad it is that someone can just say, "Hey, this person can no longer take care of themselves," and just strip them of everything and their autonomy. So I think it works, because I honestly did not know that that was something that people could do. That you can,
Mm-hmm.
that the court can say, oh, this person can no longer take care of themselves, even when they're perfectly capable of. Like, I didn't know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was very sad.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think this can easily be summarized in the fact that we did enjoy the film.
Mm-hmm.
The performances are really good, and they deserve the nominations that they're getting. The cinematography was probably my best part, because again, the tone and the atmosphere of the film is very deceiving, and I like when films look differently from their subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a lot. The film has a lot of twists and turns that you're on the edge of your seat most of the time. And yeah, we were able to watch it together. So just watch until the very end. Don't have your phone in your hand or anything. Pay attention to the movie, because it is definitely a wild ride. And so the last thing I want to say is that I don't think you'll be able to guess the ending, but at least you'll know where it's probably going, because that's how were watching the film, you have an idea, because there's only one way that it could possibly end.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is how and when.
Yeah. It's also what I really like about this film is that you think it's going to end, but it doesn't. Like I for sure thought it was gonna end at a certain scene, and then it kept going, and it just stressed me out even more because I just go, oh my, like what else is she gonna do? I can't take this anymore. So definitely, it kept me on the edge of my seat, and it kept me guessing the entire time. And I love when films do that. But since it was so well done, like I didn't mind the runtime, because this could have easily been, way too long and just like continue going in circles. But I think that, it's 2 hours long, and I think it was just like the perfect runtime for it because it wraps everything up very nicely. But I do wish we should have gotten more Chris Messina.
We should have.
He was a good character.
They should get costume design nods just because of his suits.
That 3-piece suit. Whoever dressed him, thank you. You did us a favor.
Also, Jay Blakeson, the close-ups on all the characters, not just Chris Messina, the close-ups on all the characters are really nice because it allowed for intimacy with each character, and you're able to see them as they are, which served, like, there was a purpose. It wasn't just fan service. It was really nice to be up close to all these characters, because most of the time you're seeing a facade of who they are, and then when they're going toe to toe with someone and you have those close-ups, it's beautiful. It's very poetic in a way.
Yes. Oh, those close-ups were beautiful. Especially that Chris Messina close-up, and Josie kept saying, oh my God, what did we do to deserve
Gabriela? Stop exposing me. Okay, that's all for this review. Thank you for tuning. Thank you for tuning in to the Film Posers YouTube channel. Clearly, we're recommending this film. It was honestly one of our favorites in the year so far, and I know that sounds ridiculous because the year is still starting, but it's the truth. Again, you can find this film on Netflix February 19th. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to follow us at Film Posers on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, our YouTube channel. You know what to do. And remember, we're all film posers. Bye.
Bye.